You can just give me kind of just a rundown. I'm just trying to get information and see if there's...
Okay. Basically, this game, there's a couple components. First, you're going to build railroads, and you're going to deliver goods. Okay, and it's kind of like dominoes, that when the cities match, you'll be able to deliver goods and collect points for those.
So these tiles, depending on how you set them up...
How you lay them out, you're going to bid for them, you're going to collect them, and then you're going to lay them out and determining where you can deliver and how you can deliver.
And are you the...
I'm Glenn.
Hi, my name is Greg. I'm with the Allspark.
Nice to meet you.
I'm just doing a walkthrough and just trying to get some information. What can you tell us about yourself?
So I'm Glenn Drover, game designer, part-time entrepreneur. Railroad Rivals is our newest game, and Raccoon Tycoon is coming next. Just finished a Kickstarter. So this is the wood premium edition of Railroad Rivals. Really love how it turned out. We did a heat transfer, so we got full color.
So these are wooden.
These are wood tiles.
Okay.
The regular version comes with cardboard, but this is the premium wood edition, limited edition.
And it has that very that 1920s, 1930s look. And I saw the Raccoon Tycoon. I've been seeing signs for that, or advertising. I've seen that, the name. It
Right.
definitely struck a familiarity chord. So he was already mentioning on this game, you get these tiles and you connect them together.
Right, so basically you start the game with two city tiles, and then there's a draft every turn. So it'll be, if we were 5 of us playing, we'd put 5 city tiles and 5 stock tiles out, drawn randomly. And then we would bid for turn order, and then in turn order we would take and select draft, essentially, 1 city tile and 1 stock tile.
Okay.
And then you put your stock tiles in front of you like a portfolio, and then your city tiles, the second phase of the game is to lay the tiles and make the connection. So if I laid this tile down, I would make the connection on the C&O.
And that's what these train icons represent, your connections.
That means me, I'm the yellow player.
Okay.
And then we would put cubes out based on the size of the city. So Cincinnati to Detroit, that's 2 cubes. The final phase is the delivery phase. So like a pickup and delivery. So basically you would deliver 1 cube on the C&O, and then it would come out of the game, it was delivered, and I would get 3 points for making the delivery, 1, 2, 3, and the C&O would go up 1 in value.
Okay.
By the end of the game, all the stocks will have a higher value, and you will have your whole portfolio, and you get points based on the final value times the number of shares.
Okay, so the resource in the game isn't necessarily the items that you're transferring, it is just the stock itself,
Right,
and
it's
you're trying to
stock
raise your
speculation.
stock prices. And,
Right.
Oh, that's
But
pretty
the
interesting.
strategy of the game is trying to make connections that will help you leverage the stocks that you have or want to get.
That is interesting.
It really works
and
well.
then you say there's up to 5 players?
5 players.
5 players?
And we're going to do an expansion this winter that'll add a 6th player color and some new rules and specials.
Do these players have any particular traits, or are they just named? Or
They don't have any traits at this point. No.
Okay.
They're generic, but took advantage of the opportunity and named them after, at least the last names, after family members, friends, play testers. So.
And I guess he's over there demoing the Raccoon Tycoon. Is that a similar game, or is it
Very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
Did you develop that as well?
I did.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure.
I don't want to interrupt what he's doing, but maybe we can find out some information.
You get wheat plus 1 week.
So is it like an animal society, or
It is, yeah. So the theming here, I'll get the grab the
Definition
deck
is
first. The theming is that you've got these animal tycoons,
Okay.
and they represent the owners of these railroads, and it's simple set collection for the railroads by auction.
Okay.
So basically, if you want to have gain a railroad, and that's how you drive your victory points. So 1 is worth 4, 2 of these would be worth 9, 3, 16, and so forth. You have to start the bidding for the auction at 7.
Okay.
And they're all a little different with different values.
So it's a different gameplay metric, but some of the elements are the same with the
We do have an
values
auction.
and the you've got, and then the railroad you said. So it's kind of similar. So they're maybe in the same universe, but not the same gameplay.
Right.
If you think of it.
They both have railroads. They're both kind of that turn of the century, Gilded Age kind of an idea.
And you say this is Kickstarter is just launched?
It already finished.
Already finished.
But we're doing our late pledge starting Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. And do you have a website that you?
We do, forbiddengames.net.
Okay. And I'll post the link on that once I get everything uploaded. But well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk
My
to us,
pleasure.
and then we'll get you set up and get you going on that.
Thank you.
Thanks. So yeah, there's a lot of board games, and that's another example of the Kickstarter that just just funded, and now he's got some other late pledge stuff going. So it's very successful. Let's turn back around here and head this way. See if we can find. They're the only ones that seem to have the demo booth up in addition to the gaming though. So I'm not sure if there's any more on this aisle, but we'll sneak over here to the other aisle. I see a lot of people gathered around down here, so we'll see what that's about. And I do apologize for the stability on this camera. You know, I'm just using my cell phone. Like I said, a lot of this just comes right out of our own pocket. We're trying to build the YouTube channel. We're trying to make it informative. Pardon me, I'm sorry.
Good luck.
We're trying to make it more interactive and that sort of thing. So it'll get better as we go. All right, so now we're over here, all the game. I kind of wish I could stand around and play the games, and I might be able to do that later. I just want to see what's going on. But I want to get the information out to you guys too, of what it's like to be here, because GenCon is a lot different than a lot of the comic conventions or toy conventions that are out there, because you have those that are primarily panels and celebrities and autographs and all that.
30 minutes left in the round. X-Wing players, 30 minutes left in round 2.
Calling out some of the round statuses for X-Wing. No, but a lot of these conventions, it's all about, rubbing elbows with famous people. And you can do that here with the creators. Although the creators are generally the unsung heroes. They're not always out here. People don't often know who they are or what they look like. And so most people out here, they're just out here to play. And that's what it's about. It's about community building and just having fun. So, here's a game that I was interested in, which is the Agents of Mayhem Pride of Babylon game. It is a 3D tabletop RPG with destructible terrain, and it's just sort of a battle scenario where you have these battle maps, and then you build these scenarios. And so with all your characters and your cards, you'll fight each other, and then you can use your weapons and things like that to change the layout of the map. So the buildings can come down, they can become destroyed and things like that. So it has that 3D element to it, where there's more levels and things like that, which a lot of games lack. So, and based off the Agents of Mayhem, which was roughly kind of in the same universe as Saints Row, it's very much just a gung-ho crazy action game. So I may want to check that out later just to play that as well. And then over here we've got, hey, how's it going?
Happy GenCon.
You having fun today?
I sure
I'm just making a YouTube video, so
I'm happy to participate.
it's a lot of stuff going on today. You almost, you think of a 4-day convention and you think, oh, that's a lot of days, but there's almost too much to do just in that amount of time.
I went to bed last night at around midnight, figuring it'd be an early night. My friend talked to me until 2 more hours before the lights went out.
I hear you.
They were camping out.
The nightlife is almost a convention unto itself sometimes. Well, it was good talking to you.
Thank you.
I hope you have a good time.
You too.
So yeah, everybody's here and they're all here for fun. And he was talking about how his buddy was talking his ear off. You get out here in once the con event's in, everybody mingles and meets on the streets. They go hang out at bars and restaurants, all the themed things, and it's really interesting. So here's another big setup from these Warhammer type games. This is the 40K, it looks like, and it's all tactical. And if it sounds like I'm just like dumbing it down, it's not intentional. I know there's a lot of Allspark viewers who don't necessarily thrive in the gaming industry, but for anybody who's not familiar with it or who wants to become familiar with it, and that's why I wanted to be on the chat, because I wanted to answer any questions that I could, but we'll do this way for now. And but yeah, I mean, these are very elaborate. Of course, you get all the models and the terrain and things like that. People spend painstaking amount of times to get it all looking pretty.
30 turns with Reapers. What do you mean?
But this is a D6 based game, and it's all based on movement, tactics, squads, and things like that. So,
First one.
sorry, I was in your way. And then got some empty tables over here. I'm not sure what the empty tables are for, but could be just for pickup games or people that haven't arrived yet. Then you have these, let's see, 1775, the American Revolution. So this looks like it's a war game. So just based on a cursory evaluation, you've got the different factions, of course, and then you've got your resource blocks and your tokens and things like that. So this one's at 11 a.m. They're playing over here. Let's go over here and just see what they're doing. So hi, excuse me.
Yeah.
Are you a developer or a referee?
No,
or
I'm just a game master here teaching.
can you? I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. I'm just doing a YouTube video. I'm doing coverage for allspark.com. I'm just wondering if you could maybe tell our audience a little bit about your game, if you have time to do that at some.
Have to consult with my captain there first.
Where's he at?
She's right there.
Right there? Oh, hey. I'm with the Allspark. I'm just doing some coverage. I'm just looking at different games and things like that. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your games here.
I'm actually in the middle of teaching a game.
Sure.
Would you be able to catch me back in a couple of hours?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
What's your name?
My name is Ashley.
Okay, I'm Greg.
Greg, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'll come back and catch you in a few hours. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
You're fine.
Yeah, so they're kind of busy, and I don't want to just like badger in on them. So I'll keep an eye out for people. What I could find, maybe if I find their booth, we can talk to some people there. So no big deal there. Over here in the snack section, there's so many different kinds of games. So this one is Cosmos Drop It, and I'm not sure what we're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Looks like some kind of maybe a version of tabletop Tetris, perhaps, just in that thematic. Doesn't look like that's what they're playing though. So we'll walk on over here. I'll probably upload this when I get into the press room. So, it's going to be unedited, raw, me saying stupid things and probably inadvertently being rude by bumping into people or interrupting them during their games. And I do apologize for that. I'm just trying to get everybody on board with getting the word out and so forth, and to entertain you guys to a degree. It's kind of the first time I've really done anything like this. Most of my walkthrough videos are just toy hunt videos or looking at sales and things like that. So I'm not very familiar with the protocol for doing these types of videos, but hopefully it'll come out okay and at least give you guys some information. And I'll upload a couple of these off and on throughout the day. And if you do have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them into the comment section down below, and I will read them and reply to them or follow up on anything that you want to know. Because, I consider myself an avid gamer, but all of this is just so new and almost overwhelming. I've walked halfway through. We're not even near the other side yet. There's a Blizzard booth down there. We'll see what they got. Oh, it's Dark Souls. Dark Souls is the board game. So, let's see if these guys want to talk. Hey, how's it going? My name is Greg. I'm with the allspark.com. I'm just doing a walkthrough and just getting some general information, reactions from people. I was wondering if you had a moment to talk.
Sure. I'm just a demoer, so I don't have a ton of information, but I can always help.
Yeah, I just if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself or the game or
Yeah, sure. Go let him do it. He's a staff member.
Oh, okay. Hey, how's it going?
Good. So just kind of curious about the different kind of products we have?
Yeah, we're just I saw your booth and I'm familiar with the Dark Souls video game.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see how you guys
So the board game, we had this come out in April last year. It's a 1 to 4 player fully cooperative dungeon crawl. It has $120 MSRP and it comes with a bunch of miniatures inside. You get 27 in there. They're all fully detailed. This is the actual size of the Titanite Demon to give you an idea of what kind of scale we're working with these miniatures.
So he's a good 3 or 4 inches.
He's a good 3 or 4 inches tall, and that's not even, they got the gargoyle with his wings. He got a nice big wingspan over there. So they're nice, tall. They're really detailed miniatures. If you like to paint, you can paint them up just fine.
So these look like they're about 15 millimeter scale. Is that accurate, or are they? Because
so these ones aren't the actual size. This is the only real
you're
size one in
just
there.
showing him off because
Exactly.
he's the granddaddy of all of them.
Right. We have some tables going over there, but I can show you that in a bit.
Okay, yeah, sure. And what's your name again? I'm sorry.
My name's Matt.
Matt, I'm Greg.
Hey, the other game we have is called Guild Ball. And this is the game that the company started with. It's a 6 versus 6 mob football battle soccer kind of game. And these plastic kits are our new kind of products going forward. We used to have the traditional metal miniatures format where it's just a blister full of pieces, you have to put them together. But we realized as soon as you have to put glue on a model, you lose a good 50% of your market share. So people that don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, that was the way in the late 80s, early 90s.
Exactly.
But it's
people like to sit down and stuff, but now everything's going so fast, there's so many games to play. So now these packs, they all come pre-assembled. You get an additional train piece and a goalpost and extra little goodies in there. And these are $50, so that's down from our $75 metal kit. So you're already saving $25 right off the bat, and they're pre-assembled.
Okay, so this is kind of an inspiration taking from like Blood Bowl and things like that, where you've sort of got this fantasy versus sports to kind of get another demographic that may not normally be into these type of games,
exactly. So you
and
get that
vice
sports
versa.
aspect, and it's a hybrid between your miniatures type of game and your board game type.
And you got your paint set and everything, so you can
partner with Army Painter to produce a paint set. We have additional kind of little statuettes. One of our other games we have in the same Guild Ball universe is called Shadow Games, and it's a bluffing game. So it's a simple kind of, you play a card face down, you say what you want them to think it is, and you're either lying or you're telling the truth. People can call you on it or not. You're trying to collect 5 of one type of color of cubes, and each card gives you certain colors of cubes. So it's kind of a back and forth that way.
So then you get a point, and then whoever ends up with the most cubes or all the cubes
exactly.
wins.
First person to get 5 of one color is going to win.
Okay.
These are the resin busts. This is done by a company called Broken Toad in the UK.
Broken Toe?
Broken Toad. It's with a D at the end.
Okay. And may I pick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So these are
So
are these the resin samples
these
or
are resin? These come unassembled, and these are the full statues. So these are the busts. So they won't come with the bottom half, but what people do is I had a box over, but they will get a stand or something like that, and they'll pin it to that stand so it stands upright, and it gives them just a nice big kind of model.
So like a decorative, like museum style bust.
Exactly. So it's more decorative. There's no game or rules associated with this one.
Okay.
What we're doing right here is we're getting a video done for our new game God Tier right now.
Okay.
So this is a hex-based miniatures game where you have a champion, which is your main guy for that team, and then he has a bunch of followers. So they'll come in packs of champions and followers, and for your army you choose 3. So you choose 3 champions and then their associated followers.
Okay.
And then you pit them up against the other player who also has 3 champions and followers.
And what are those? Are those land masses?
So those little hex marks there, those are the objective zones. So it's a very objective-oriented game where you want to keep that action right in the middle.
Okay.
And it keeps things nice and tight-paced. Nobody, even if you're not going to 0 health, you're not dead. You just get pushed back and you get to go right back in the fray. So it's a tug-of-war style system where you fight for dominance at the end of the round. Whoever has points for that round, and then they keep going on afterwards.
And then you get your dice and your little cubes or the
little cubes are the health markers.
Health markers. Okay.
But each card will have a
I guess we can step over here, so I don't want to be in their way. So I'm just gonna have a seat here just so we can look at these, if that's okay. So these are the miniatures. Now, these are the metal ones. Are these also metal?
So these are all the early access samples that we send out to stores. We have about 13 kits that we send out to retailers to get that community already rolling. All the production miniatures are going to be done in plastic, similar to our Guild Ball minis.
Okay.
We did a Kickstarter for this one, so if you want to check out the different types of champions that we'll have, you can go and check out our Kickstarter page.
What's the? Do you have a card or something that I can put that information?
I don't have any cards over here right now, unfortunately.
Okay. Do you have anything that you can just give me the info so that I can pass that along to everybody? That way they can find you. When does the Kickstarter end?
the Kickstarter's already ended.
It already ended.
So if you wanted to see what will be coming out in the future, you can
Okay.
go and check out the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that stuff's already done. The next Kickstarter we just announced was for the Horizon Zero Dawn board game.
Okay.
And we haven't activated it yet, but we're going to be doing that here in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. If you want to send any information to me, you can
Do you
just.
have a card? Or?
I same
It's
thing.
the same thing, on both sides. So let me take your information down. Let me grab my pen real quick.
Sure. So yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on, and I personally like the plastic miniatures more than the metal ones. Although I used to like the metal ones because they have more detail, but the plastic ones are just so much more manageable. I just kind of.
Oh, no problem. So if you want to write your information down, unfortunately, I have a meeting to go to.
Okay.
But I would recommend after you finish with this, we have a table over there with our Resident Evil board game set up, and then beyond that, there's the other Dark Souls miniatures that you can check out and get an idea for the scale of.
Okay.
But I gotta run to that real quick. So thank you very much for the.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much. Enjoy.
Let's see what we got over here. So that was a interview on that, and they got a lot of games in their company. So that's what you like to see. They're always doing something. Of course, they got the Dark Souls license, and these are some of the expansions. Like they've got the Black Dragon Column expansion, and that is a huge dragon. And so all the miniatures, they're all like 28, 30 millimeter size. So you could use these in any RPG. You could use them to play the game. They've got the playing mat there with the different cards. And the little boards look like they have placeholders and markers for your for little blocks, which are your points and your stats. So it's pretty interesting. Here's a close-up example.